I think it's time that the rest of us say enough is enough, because this country's like, it's impossible to live in now. You're trying to do things by the book anyway. Let me explain to you. So for me, I've been renting property now for the last 10 years. That was on the back of when, after my wife fell sick unexpectedly, we were defrauded. I had what still to this day was an unfair HMRC series of fines which went to wrong addresses. All of it crippled me. The fraud, the police never even turned up for the fraud. We lost thousands of pounds. Sickness came out of the blue. Guard was down. We lost our business and we lost our home. Okay, these things happen, right? And we've spent the next 10 years in and out of hospital. So that bit happens. People have cruel and horrible diseases and things, yeah? And disability and bad luck. But just give you an idea of what's happened since then. We rented a property, the first one, went in 2015, out in 2018. The place was an absolute dump, okay? Now bear in mind, we'd done all right for ourselves from nothing. I came from niche, very proud council house, managed to own my own property, start businesses, I had opportunities. That's the difference, okay, compared to now. And I rented out. I owned a flat as well. We rented out, looked after it. Anyway, this place we rented, absolute dump shithole is the understatement of the year. Full of damp, full of rot, worst landlord letting agents in the world. I don't know how to get away with it. Anyway, didn't pay one penny. Paid all the time. And then they, out of the blue, wanted to turn up because we were good tenants and thought, they must be doing all right because I work hard, like a reasonable car on the drive, and they wanted to put the rent up despite the situation, even though I was in and out of hospital every day to London, spending thousands of pounds on trains. But anyway, we paid them over that time £47,000 that I worked hard for. Obviously, got nothing to show for that. Just paying off their house, which was family inheritance. Then we moved out of town, which was a good move for us. Been there October 2018 to today. We've paid them £82,200. So that's £135,200 I've paid in 10 years, and I've got nothing to show for it, okay, other than we had a roof over our heads. And this property's okay, but they've suddenly come back and they want to put the rent up because a house nearby have had their rent put up, and they know that demand outstrips supply. So it doesn't matter about us, good tenants, bit naive, because you can have bad tenants. So we, again, never missed a payment. So overall, it paid over £135,000, which could have been given to my kids for inheritance, but instead I've paid off affluent people's either mortgages, likely not, probably just income for them on inheritance cash and property. Okay, is what it is. Doesn't make you a bad person either, but at least try and have some sort of moral compass. And now they've absolutely stiffed us. And by the way, during that, treated us like scum. Said they were trying to catch people out. We're the people that sort out bad tenants, that we were told, tried to trip us up on a lot of petty things. But anyway, treating us like second-class citizens. So how is that the only industry in the world that the people that put the money in the till, like thousands of pounds, are treated the worst? And the landlord's treated like a king by the letting agent. We're treated like second-class scumbags. And yet we pay all of the way. We pay the landlord and we pay the letting agent. So we're the ones, when we go to Tesco's and Sainsbury's, we put the money in the till. Without that, there ain't no Tesco's and Sainsbury's. And yet we're treated disgustingly. So I want something done about that, and I'll do more details about it. So let's put this into a bit more perspective. I've got some, I took some notes here. So, of course, the largest part of our income goes on your house, typically. And in this case, that's the case. And then, obviously, your bills and what's left over. So let's put this into perspective of what's changed in the UK, right? In around 1997, 28 years ago, after a real difficult upbringing, I worked hard, really grafted. We had a good job, come from nowhere, had sort of blagged my CV really because I couldn't even finish school due to stuff that was going on at home. But I got a good job, brilliant, excellent, person as a wife, and we got a first mortgage, £180 a month, right? We paid £37,500 for that house, and together we earned, looking back, 37k a year, about £500 short of what the house value was we could earn in 1 year. So 99% of 1 year's salary was the house value. Roll that forward to 26 years ago. Things are going well again. I got an entrepreneurial spirit at that time. You know what? You could do things. I don't think you can now, but you could have a go at things because it was affordable. So we bought another home, like upgraded. We had 2 kids by then. £252 a month mortgage. This is 26 years ago. We paid £59,000, and I earned £50,000 a year. Well, sorry, me and my wife. She was working part-time, etc., with childcare. So that is 1 year's salary was 85% of the value of the home. Then we go to another property, upgrade again. Again, really enjoyed a good spell. Couldn't believe how good things were in terms of where we'd come from. But by 2005, 20 years ago, we bought, if you like, our first proper family home. We knew we wanted to renovate, stay there. We did loads of work on it. That house we paid £169,000, and together we earned about £65,000. Big money back then. And that was then 38% in that year of the value of the property. Now roll that forward to today. The house we're in, which we rent, is valued at £375,000. Now, I have earned this money, but I don't now, because the last 2 years I've barely earned anything. But if I earned 60,000, which is a lot, who can earn that now? Doctors, pilots, things have changed. Wages are going down, not up. But if I earned 60 grand, that is 16% of the house value. So let me bring that into some more sort of stats and facts I worked out. So back then, 20 years ago, 7 point something percent of my income was mortgage. Right? That's what I spent. So take all your bills out. If you like, I had surplus cash. Therefore, we could go down to town. We could spend money. We could eat out. Unlike many town centres today, which are complete ghost towns. And this might explain why. Because now, even at 60k, a quarter of my whole spending money has gone on rent. A quarter of what I earn. I go out and earn, graft, a quarter is given away in rent before I even start. So the result is it's unaffordable. So the rich just keep getting richer, and I think we can't afford it, and they're very, very affluent. I've heard this actually, I overheard a conversation with an affluent company recently. They're looking to buy up a lot of these new houses that are going up in bulk to rent out to us, which is what is now. I've gone from being poor, dead okay, now I'm we're back to being poor again. So demand is up, so rent goes up. 30 years ago, 20% of properties were rented. 7% of that was private. So obviously the rest was state owned. Or in our childhood era was council houses. Now, 35% of houses are rented, about 8.6 million rented houses. 53% of those are privately owned or private equity and investment firms. 53%. Work it out.